How's it going? Can everyone hear me? Hey, so what'd you guys all think of the movie? Okay, perfect. What's up, Sage? Good to see you. Hello. Sorry about that. Had a bit of a connection issue there, but hopefully everything's all fixed now. Um, Trying to remember what I was saying. Yeah, so I started the series uh during like the early days of COVID. It was kind of like my COVID project, and here we are 2 years later with the whole hour. I think it was hour and 2 minute film. So I'm super proud of it, and I'm really glad you guys enjoyed it. So pretty much for this stream, uh, just gonna be here chatting with you guys about any questions you had for the channel about the movie. Uh, yeah, yeah, it really. I know it sent a lot of people back, including me. I uh, I went back and I didn't replay the game for myself, but I did uh, pick it up from downstairs. I was doing some cleaning and I'm like, oh, here it is, the original copy that I had. So I know a lot of people grew up playing it as well. So it was great to see everyone's reaction to it and for me to take a trip back myself and take a look at the game and all the levels and everything. Yes, yeah, I actually do. I feel like Rhino may be dropping soon. I'm in Canada, and sometimes we get stuff early, and sometimes we get it late. So I haven't seen him anywhere yet, and I haven't really heard anything. But I definitely want to pick him up as well as Lizard. Um, I might be using that specific Lizard for the sequel appearance in uh, in the movie there. So, oh no, they're all falling over. Here, let's do a little bit of rearranging while I'm here. Oh, that's a great question. So, um, yes, spoilers. Beetle, I have plans for him to have a bit of a bigger role in the second game. Um, there's only a few actual like recorded voice lines for Beetle in the game, so I've kind of looked to some other cartoons and stuff where there's characters that have like a similar voice, and I'll probably throw those in just to give him a bit more dialogue. And yeah, I have a plan for what I imagine, and kind of what I imagined as a kid for him to have a boss battle in that game. So he will be showing up a little bit more, and I'll be doing more with him. I can't say what yet, and to be honest, I'm still figuring it out. But um, yeah, Beetle will be showing up. So all you Beetle fans, definitely get excited for that. All right, I think I missed a few questions, so I'm just gonna scroll up a little bit. Um, okay, sorry, James, I totally missed your question here. James asked, do you prefer the movie Venom mold or the Mega Red mold for Venom in Sabretooth? Um, to be honest, like I know a lot of people weren't super happy with this specific like Venom mold after a while, and I can see why. Um, I still really like this Venom, so it's like as new Venoms come out, it's kind of hard to part with this guy, and I might use him at some point. I really love that head sculpt and the tongue and everything. So I think for me, I've been playing around with the. I have both the movie Venom and like the animated one that was on that Sabretooth body. I really like the animated one on the Sabretooth body. I think, he's a bit taller than everyone else, and I think the Venom, like the movie one, is a good option too. I think for me, he's a little bit too tall. Um, I mean, it's not like a real big complaint for me, but I think for my taste, like growing up with the cartoon, I like the animated one for right now, but I'll see. I'll probably change my mind when the new one with the wings comes out. So I to be honest, I like all the Venoms that they've released and they're releasing. I really just can't get enough of them. So I kind of have been like trying to fit a place for each one in each like different animation series. So I think next for Maximum Carnage, I will be using the animated one as of right now. I definitely want to play around with that one. So, but yeah, I'm excited for both Venoms. So and for Sabretooth, I would like to see him on the Mega Red, I think. All right, scrolling back up to see. What's next for stop motions? So a lot of people want Enter Electro now, and I definitely want to work on it now, but I really have a lot of plans for it, and I might just need a little bit more time to build some sets, maybe buy a couple. We'll see. I still have a lot that I can use for that, but I have a lot of ideas of how I want it to look, and it's a very dark, like the very dark and everything, and kind of gritty looking. So I really want to try to capture that. So time to set that. Since I just finished this series, I think I want to take maybe just a little break from the video game stuff. So I'll be working on that Maximum Carnage series that I set up like a teaser for a while ago. Um, I've kind of planned out the first episode, so I will be, yeah, I'll be doing that first, getting that set up. Um, have a bunch of voice lines, so I'm waiting on a couple, but I'll be doing Maximum Carnage next, and excuse me, right after I will be doing, and then I have a couple other things planned, not Spider-Man related. There is another X-Men video in the works. I know that's what I started with on the channel, and I want to do something with Captain America as well. But I will give you more details on that soon. It's kind of like in line with this kind of like Infinity War story that they've been evolving through the X-Men videos. So that's what's next. Hey, sorry, I'm a little bit behind on the questions. We need a 3-pack for ultimate comic versions of Peter Parker, Mary Jane, and Harry, and an Aunt May. We definitely need an Aunt May. And yeah, I'd love to see some more Ultimate Spider-Man stuff. And Beetle Beatdown. Yeah, yeah, that would be cool. I have something cool planned for Beetle, so that's a cool question. Um, love your stop motion the Spider-Man game. Thank Yeah, I'm really happy with how the film turned out, and I hope you guys liked it too. It actually, it wasn't until the second episode that I thought about how it would look as like a whole movie. I definitely planned it out to be a series first. Oh no, Spidey. Um, but I'm really happy with how everything transitioned into each other, and it wasn't that hard to edit. I kind of edited is as like I went, so I didn't have so much to do at the end. Um, yeah. Uh, do you like the adult version of Peter Parker now that Miles is the new teenage Spider-Man? Um, the young adult version. Uh, yeah, like I a little bit on the newer comics and what like Spider-Man's been up to now. I know that Miles has kind of taken over a lot. And for what I have read of Miles, um, love the character and especially loved him in Spider-Verse, loved him in the video game. Um, I like all versions of Peter Parker, to be honest. I think I think what they've done with the character and like how they've kind of reinvented him, like especially like in some of the modern books is really cool. Miles is great too. I'd love to use him for something as well. I know the stuff I'm doing now, Miles is like a bit further in the future from these old games and stuff, but I'd love to do something with Miles. What if you did another game series, but like Spider-Man Friend or Foe? That was a cool game. That might be cool as well, Friend or Foe. Um, you have to look into that. I mean, now that I've done one game, I feel like I've kind of opened the door for many other games, and I'm always constantly thinking of, I try to work on what like I'm in the mood for at the time. So that's kind of how Maximum Carnage came out because I'm like, I did a game. What was a book that I grew up with that really stuck with me? And Maximum Carnage was that. As a huge fan of like Venom as a kid, I I went to a comic book store and I had the guy recommend me that book. He's like, "Who's your favorite, comic book character?" I said Venom, and he hands me an issue of Maximum Carnage with Venom in it. And then I kind of that's how I got into that whole story. So, um, what about the Carnage movie? You mean Maximum Carnage? Yeah, that's definitely coming. That will be a series as well. I'll be doing every issue of it. I think there's 14 issues, so that one might take a little bit longer. I'm gonna start with the first episode and see how it goes, and I do plan on finishing it a while. So I know someone on YouTube already kind of did some of the game, and I really got inspired by his work. So I want to try to finish it. Miss doing fan-made Spider-Man episodes, um, a little bit, and I still have some in the works. That's a good question. Like I've actually planned out scripts and a whole bunch of episodes, so I'd like that to come back eventually. Right now, I love doing these, and I know everyone is really digging like the Spider-Man 2000 stuff and the video game stuff. So there's never enough Spidey, especially on this channel. So um, I'm sure that I can work my own series back into it too. And Spider-Man's not soon, so I could definitely do a lot with multiple series. Power Rangers stop motion would be cool. I sadly don't have any Power Rangers figures, but hey, never say never in the future. Those figures do look really cool. I've seen a lot of them at the store. Your channel is amazing. Thank you, Zoro. Retro Spider-Man figure himself is getting expensive. Yeah, he is. Can't wait for the new one. TMNT and Spider-Man crossover. So I got a lot of people asking about the Ninja Turtles, and I don't really own any of like the NECA figures. Like I'd love to, but money goes into the Marvel Legends, as you can see. So um, I do have Ninja Turtles figures though. I have from the 2012 cartoon, and I think I could definitely do something with those. So and there's like Bebop and Rocksteady and Shredder and stuff. So um, maybe I'll open the door for some Ninja Turtles in the future. There's seeing Peter Parker all over again. Yeah, I like him. It's a grow up reading alternate. Yeah, I mean, I think it just depends on the story. I think it is cool to let him grow up a bit, and I kind of like the Peter Parker in the this game. Actually, he's an adult, he's married, and he takes the things a little bit more seriously, but he still finds time to joke around. I think that's cool. Okay, James says, for a very long time, I used to love the Hyperion mold for Venom. After seeing how Todd McFarlane, Eric Larson, Mark Bagley, and John Venom being as buff and as tall as Colossus. Yeah, I mean, there's so many iterations, and that's what's beautiful. Like, I also like the Monster Venom figure. That one's great too. Reminds me of the Ultimate one, and I might actually use that if I do end up doing the Ultimate Spider-Man game. I might make either get a custom head or I fit the one from the Marvel Select, the Ultimate Venom head on that body, and it works pretty well. So that might be my recipe for that. I think Mark Bagley is my favorite artist for Venom personally, but I mean I like all of them to be honest. They all help to create the characters. My brother's in the chat. Di- Didn't know you streamed, awesome. Everyone, give a shout out to Dan. He, I like Peter as a teen. Yeah, I mean, Ultimate Spider-Man Peter, I think, is my favorite. Like Teenage Spider-Man. I mean, Tom Holland is good as well, though. How do you get the background for stop motions? Because start uploading. That's awesome. This building here is from NECA. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's pretty worth it. It's like massive. Uh, I always struggle to find a place to store it. Um, I get most of mine from Extremes. They're these awesome, like printed 3D kind of card things. Like this pillar here is Extreme Sets. Like these are the kind of accessories you can get with them. Um, and they kind of got a little bit expensive now, but I think they're pretty worth it for what you get. Like it, most of these sets take up like my whole table, so you got lots of room to work around with the figures, and they're great for animations. Um, I made some of my own as well, and I still do out of like foam board and stuff. I just don't always have the time to do that, but I definitely want to. Is this probably the cheaper alternative? Um, and then some I get from like thrift stores and stuff, or I'll just throw together poster paper as like a colorful background. Um, I definitely think like you can do a good set with just like minimal materials, and just make it work. Okay, let's get back to some of these. Yeah, so check out Extreme Sets. That I would say that's like a good starting place if you can afford it. Thinking make my own Venom figure. Yeah, I can get that too. I think like it's kind of if you combine the two, like the movie Venom figure with the animated one, I think you'd have the perfect Venom because you get like movement, you get all the movement in all the places, like the arms going back and forth and the torso swinging around. So I think like the perfect one sits somewhere in the middle, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get it pretty soon. You know, I think for Hasbro, Spider-Man and Venom are characters that we don't go too long without seeing them on the store shelves. So, um, Avengers stop motion would be cool. I love hear the fight as one. Oh, yeah, Avengers definitely is coming up. Starting more focused on Captain America. Um, I have to get that new retro or like the anniversary one. That one looks really cool. I wanted to use them for this video actually, but I just ended up using the one I have here, which I still like. I think he's fine. I'm not like super picky with some of the updated figures. I always try to get the newest version of each character, but it's not always possible. So I think this one is cool, but the new one has the unmasked head, and I think it looks a little bit better. But for now, this is the one I'm rolling with. Um, Spider-Man PS1 was gonna get a third game with Green Goblin. Other missing villains could cancel. Uh, hand all assets went to the new game. That would be a cool, fun project. Wow, Magnus, you're really reading my mind here because I was thinking about that today. I'm like, what if in theory I continued the games afterwards and there was this third Game Boy game, Mysterious Menace, I think. That might be a fun one too. I wasn't originally gonna do it, but you guys really love these games and the series, so I might try to do it. That one I might have to voice myself and get some voice actors for it since it's a Game Boy game. There's no real voice acting, but hey, I might, down the line, who knows? I definitely have ideas floating around for a fan made one, maybe like a fourth game, just to make it a series. Why not? Throw Green Goblin in there for sure. He would be cool, and maybe some new villains. I have, tons to go through in the shelf, so Spidey's got a lot of bad guys. Okay, Dan says out of your entire figure collection, which is your favorite property? Good question. I think, Star Wars figures have been good over the years, and uh, they've kind of had their hit and misses, but I feel like the figures they're making now are great, especially like what they're showing for the Obi-Wan show. If you guys have seen that, if you haven't, I'm not going to say any spoilers. I know some people haven't. I know Dan hasn't. Um, but there's a lot of good figures coming from that show. Um, and I've always been a fan of both scales actually, the 3 3/4 and the Black Series is really cool. But I feel like now I'm going back to the 3 3/4 just because of the vehicles and everything. Star Wars is really cool. Marvel is pretty much like my main one right now, though. And as a kid growing up, it was what I would pick up a lot of Spider-Man stuff, especially. So those are probably like the two biggest collections I have, and my favorites there. Ultimate Spider-Man is my favorite comics. Me too. I have a lot of those issues. Uh, how do you have the patience to make stop motion so well done? It takes a while. I mean, I was saying at the beginning of the stream, it was definitely my COVID project when not much to do. So um, I don't know. I think when you have a vision and you just want to see it complete, you kind of push through. I've definitely like had a few times in the series where I uh, I was I had to like pull through. I was like, this is so tiring. This is taking so long. But I think, and especially I think like I have a whole storyboard book. I draw out what I want to see, and I just go for it. And and that's kind of been my method. So just you'll learn to get the patience as you keep going. Yes, Dan, you got to shut up. Uh, we need Rider Series Alistair Smythe for sure. He's one that I'm surprised they haven't done. I have the original animated figure somewhere. I remember getting him from like a flea market or something. Retro Chameleon, Retro Beetle with bright colors. That'd be cool. I do like the shiny Beetle right now though, but definitely Chameleon. That one needs to update for sure. I'm up for voice acting. Gunslinger. Okay, yeah, I definitely. If Yeah, just leave a comment on maybe on the recent video, and um, there's small roles I still have to fill out, and if any of you guys are looking to play like security guards, or I think one of them is like a Chinese food cashier, and maybe you guys can fill in those roles, and yeah, yeah, that'd be cool. I'm gonna try to work that out. You're absolutely right. I have a great Green Goblin voice. That's awesome. Yeah, for the future, that might. You're absolutely right. I'd like to see a mix of the Mega Red and movie Venom mold, and I thought Hasbro was going to add butterfly joints in the movie Venom mold, but they didn't. Yeah, I mean, I really like that movie Venom figure. I think it's pretty awesome. Um, I don't particularly like have any ideas to use it for an animation right now, like the original movie Venom, not the new one. That's like the comic base. Just because I try to stick to video game comic stuff. I think in my collection I have way more of the comic stuff. I have a decent amount of MCU stuff. I can definitely do some stuff if I think of something later, or if you guys want to see it. But um, yeah, it's too bad they didn't put those joints in them. Have you seen videos of Spider-Man games for the PS4 or 5? I recently finished that. Uh, Yeah, I haven't played it yet. I know it's out for PC, so I definitely should. I've seen some of the story. I have actually, yeah, seen a few Let's Plays. I'm excited for the second game. I hope that comes out to PC at some point too. I'm into manga and anime like My Hero Academia, Tiger and Bunny. Yeah, manga and anime is cool. What was the last? I think Attack on Titan was the last one I watched. I haven't watched mostly like some of the popular ones. I have to get more into it though. A lot of animes though it's hard to get into because there's a lot of them. Like I know, like One Piece and Naruto have like a billion episodes, so you really have to find the time. But those are good. Is it like Discord? Not sure what you're referring to there. Um, I like Marvel action figures. Me too. Which adaptation do you like more? Tobey Maguire's, Andrew Garfield, or Tom Holland's? Um, it's a good for me. Toby's always been like my favorite because he was the first, and that's what I grew up with. Tom did a great job, and honestly, like seeing Andrew come back, I didn't realize how much I missed that guy. I think he's really good too. I like all of them, but I would say Toby. Jerry Big fan. Oh, nice. Uh, Raymond is great. It's like we're getting spammed in the chat here. Let me just take care of that. What else we got here? Yeah, I figured bots would come eventually. But okay, Magnus says I write scripts for a small YouTuber and his Batman figure series. If you need help with original stories, such as a third Spidey PS1 game, I'll be more than happy to lend my time for free. Oh, awesome! Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything concrete yet, but definitely like that's really nice of you to offer that. It might be really cool to write with you in the future. So glad you did the Spider-Man PS1 game stop motion. I think you are the first person to do tribute to that amazing game. Use your time wisely. Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was surprised. I when I set it up, I was like, how has no one really touched upon this before? I'm glad that I just went for it though. Yeah, I mean, it turned out better than I could have imagined. Oh, hey, Spider Boy. Good to see you, man. Spider Boy is really good animator as well. Definitely check out his stuff if you haven't. Like a great movie of his own with the Avengers and MODOK. DC, Batman, Superman. Yes, I do. I do. I'm a fan of DC. Hero. I actually have before I set up this table, I had a bunch of DC figures set up. The McFarlane ones I love and hate at the same. Had a bit more movement, but I think this is my favorite one that they released so far. This Red Hood. He's really cool, and I'd love to do Batman as well. If you guys are into that, Superman maybe. I'm not the biggest fan. The figures that I do have for Superman are pretty cool, so I feel like I do want to use them eventually. He kind of looks unfitting here next to all these Spider-Man characters. Man. Really appreciate it. Your animations are great too. Thanks, buddy. All right, I'm gonna. If you guys have some more questions, just drop them. I had some questions from Aaron Delgado. I'm not sure if he's in the chat, but I did say I would answer them. So in case he is, or just for you guys, he asked, "Do you have a favorite film, cartoon, or video like the Star Wars prequels?" Definitely were movies that people didn't like when they came out. I think specifically Attack of the Clones. I think I really still like that movie for everything that it is, even with the cringy dialogue and stuff. I just think there's some really cool moments in there, real cool action, and it's just great seeing now with Obi-Wan going back and watching that and seeing uh, Obi-Wan and Anakin together. Just and he asked a couple others. Let's see what else he asked. Are you more into Batman or Spider-Man, whether for game, movies, or cartoon? Always Spider-Man. There's a lot of great Batman stuff. I grew up watching the Batman cartoon, the one from like 2003. That was cool. Animated series as well, but it's always been Spider-Man for me. I started on Spider-Man. And then, yes, any favorite 2020 cartoons so far? Um, I guess for like animation, Arcane is definitely a great show on Netflix. Definitely recommend checking that one out. That's probably been my favorite, like animation or cartoon that I've seen this the last couple years. All right. What about Transformers stuff? Motion episodes are too much work. I used to be into Transformers when the first movie came out. I had a lot of them, and now I think they've been garage saled or um, like The ones that I do have are kind of in pieces. I don't think it'd be a terrible amount of work. Um, to be honest, though, right now I don't have too much interest in Transformers. But like I say never. And the mood hits me, then maybe I'll pick some more up in the future and do with the ones that I have. I think I have a couple. I have a Soundwave somewhere I know, and I know he's pretty popular. Do like him, so maybe I don't know if I have an Optimus or anything, but yeah, that might be something. Weird opinion. We should get Ant-Man and Uncle Ben two pack. I agree. Not a weird opinion at all. As well as Wrestler Spidey and Uncle Ben's Killer. That one might be cool as well. I see the first one more likely to be made, but you never know. I'm working on my phase three now. Yes, Spider Boy is really hitting all corners of the Marvel universe with his videos, and they're awesome. I'd love to see what you do with Silver Surfer, and I think with Silver Surfer coming, uh, definitely Galactus as well. So, not sure if someone already asked you this, but after you're done with Maximum Carnage and Enter Electro, are you gonna do Ultimate Spider-Man game? I'd love to do Ultimate Spider-Man. That was another game I definitely grew up playing. Um, Surprisingly, I don't know if I think I do remember playing the movie games, but I played them on the Game Boy Advance, like Spider-Man 1 and 2, so I never got the full experience with I mean, don't get me wrong, those Game Boy games were amazing, but I kind of like missed the movie games. Um, those might be cool as well with Toby Maguire there, but after playing Enter Electro and 2000, was a big one, especially as a fan of Venom to get to play as him in a game as a kid. Like, had my eyes lighting up, and everything in that game is just awesome. That would be great to do. We definitely need more Ultimate figures. I mean, I think I have enough to like get me through the game, and I can definitely uh, create some kind of customs and stuff if I needed to. But yeah, that would be cool to do. Okay, I'll take a few more questions, and I think I'm gonna wrap up here for the first live stream. I'm definitely gonna do more of these. This is really fun, and maybe after whatever I put out next, maybe after Maximum Carnage, the first episode, I'll do one as well. Chance to sit down and talk with you guys. I'm actually gonna show this guy off. I know a lot of people had questions about him. Maybe I might have to move a few of these guys here. It's pretty big. The Monster Rock here, and pretty much a lot of people were asking like how I put this guy together. This is just the Disney Store exclusive. I think I got this last year. Marvel Select Carnage, and I put this specific head sculpt on him because I thought it looked closest to Monster Rock in the game, and it just looks really creepy. Like really, he's got like these weird teeth, and the eyes are really slanted, and it's you got some nice shading on the head there. So what I did was I took these are from the Toy Biz Doc Ock, from like the way back when Marvel Legends, and I just attached him to his back. He doesn't have holes built in, but I took a Dremel tool and I just made my own hole, kind of drilled into him, and I could probably do it a bit more because honestly, after filming with this guy, these got pretty loose, and I was struggling at the last few scenes with them to get these to stay in. Yeah, you can see they're not totally flush in there, so I might have to do some more work on him. But yeah, I don't know. I'd love to use him again for something, maybe for that fan made fourth game or something. That'd be cool to have him back. But I think he's just I uh I like using these ones for the new Doc Ock, but I don't know, they just look so cool on Monster Rock. So I might make some new custom tentacles for this dude. I just used the one that they got in the box for now. I don't have them attached right now, but hey, we got a few more questions here. Yeah, they have a Fantastic Four. Also, could you show me the whole backdrop? Because maybe yeah, so This is like the full height of it. Um, I'll move it back a bit so you can see to the figures. And there's other windows here. They're just covered up right now. Yeah, it's called the NECA building. You can find it pretty sure at a lot of places still. So, do you collect other figures that aren't Marvel Legends? Yeah, I actually do another. I think I'm due soon for another collection video. I have Star Wars figures. Like I used to collect a bunch of the Overwatch figures before they got canceled. So, Apex Legends, I have a couple of those figures. Some Super Mario and Nintendo stuff. Um, what else? Star Wars. I think I mentioned DC. I'm not sure what else. That's pretty much it. Ninja Turtles. I used to have a bunch of them. I don't really collect them at the moment, but I was thinking what else I have. Then like random figures, like a couple Attack on Titan figures. Um, just I got a Metallica Kirk Hammett figure. So just random stuff like that. But mostly what like what I try to actively get right now. So yeah. What else? Oh, also, I know some people are asking about these guys. This is just a Spider-Man 3 Venom. Like you would put like goo, like slime in his back and it would go out of his mouth. I think it came with a Spider-Man figure and I had one originally. I got one from a thrift store and I so yeah. One more for me since I've said so much. It's okay. There's no limit on questions here. Will Final Boss actually be a custom figure entirely animated? It seems like it'll be the hardest to make characters you've done. Yeah, so I had a couple ideas. I'm not sure if I'll go with it. I might try to do a custom, like a full custom. I don't really want it to be effects. I don't know if that would look the best, and um, I don't quite know how I would do it. I mean, I have like programs like After Effects and stuff, but I think it'd just be so much cooler if it was the figure. What I thought about doing was maybe just play some parts to well, not super new now, but there's that Iceman figure who's kind of like blue translucent. The Age of Apocalypse one. He looks pretty like scary. Like if I just put like an electro head on him, like a custom painted one or something, I think I can make that one work. Or maybe even just use that head and just try to add some more electricity to him so it looks like blue lightning rather than ice. I think that might be able to work. That's the plan I have right now. But we might try to do something more well when I get there. I mean, but I still think it'd be cool. Hello. You could use the Amazing Spider-Man 2 figurehead with Iceman better. Yeah, that might be an idea. So I'll play around with it. Um, I'll see what I can do with that. Maybe it might be. Maybe I can use that, but for now, we'll see. We'll try with Iceman. Is there a stop motion you want to make but don't have the figure for yet? Um, hmm. Yeah, so I'll have to see. Like, I'm hoping by the time I get there in the story, they'll release one. I think we need a carrion to finish the match in the comics. He's a more obscure Spidey villain, but they've done White Rabbit and Frogman, so they can definitely that one. Uh, yeah, I don't know if I would make a custom because I feel like when they do that, by the time by the time I would make the custom, they'd release it. Like I almost made a custom Shriek, and then they announced her, and I bought it right away. I'm like, thank goodness! Like I could start Maximum Carnage now. And I did that with Viper, and now there's a new one. Like that's already coming out now. So I probably wouldn't make a custom of Carrion. I'm sure he'll come. Hopefully next year or this year. I don't think So I think they pretty much announced everything for the end of the year. Those custom symbiotes and monster look amazing. Thank you. Yeah, this is like my first. Well, maybe not my first, but I think the Viper Madam Hydra was maybe my first. That she's in the cabinet right now, so I won't grab her now. But um, do I definitely like to get more into customizing. This is probably the most customizing I've done, like painting this whole thing. So, all right, I'll take a couple more questions, and I think I'm gonna head off for the night and let you guys go. But just want to say thank you for supporting the channel, me, and the series I create, especially the Spider-Man one, as well as the movie. Um, wasn't sure if people would be okay with seeing everything again, but I think it adds like this level of this when all the parts are together and you get to see it as the whole story. So I'm really glad you guys enjoyed it. I don't know if I could buy Marvel Legends or Star Wars figures or Lightning Connection Power Rangers. Yeah, it's hard to, you kind of just got to pick one, especially with stuff getting expensive. Unless, like, you have the money for it. So keep doing what you do best. Thank you, Sage. It's always good to have you here. Um, I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, one small little custom. I'm just trying to think of like that. I have a bunch of figures here from the film. Um, this Carnage, I've seen a few people do this. This was like a movie Lex Luthor from Batman versus Superman or whatever. Yeah, you can see Bell reprisoned. And I just stuck his head on with some sticky tack. For Carnage here for Cletus, good old Cletus. Probably be using this. Uh, Most definitely will be using this. This head doesn't fit too well on. I think it's Legion. He kind of has like a prison outfit. I was hoping to use that, but this works just fine. So Mayfix Comic Spider-Man or Retro Legend Spider-Man. I don't have the Mayfix one, sadly. Like I remember it was before like the pandemic and everything. I saw it and I was gonna buy it and I didn't, and I kind of regret it because the price shot up for that figure way afterwards. So, but the retro one came out, and I've been happy with that one. I'm gonna be having my first experience in animating with a Mafex figure from Maximum Carnage. I bought that Carnage. It's pretty good. The arm is a bit loose; it keeps falling off, so I might have to do something about that. But at this, I don't know. I'm just used to animating with these figures, with like the Mars, and I would feel like pretty upset if I went all like Mayfair somewhere along the way. Like I'm always scared if I like bend their joint the wrong way or something filming, then I'd break them, and then it would be like, oh, it's breaking like a $20-$30 figure compared to like 120. But I think what Mayfix does is really cool. I think for displaying and photography, they're fantastic. But I'll see how they are with animating. They might be better, and maybe I'll switch over eventually. Marvel Legends Civilian Eddie Brock. Yeah, we do. I don't mind the. I don't know if I'll pull them out now, but you saw him in the film. That's like my custom Eddie Brock with the rest of their body. Some jacket I picked off Amazon, and that head was sticky tack. So I'm glad that we at least have the head. That's that's enough for me for now. But I'd love the whole custom civilian Eddie Brock. Like that would be fantastic. But as long as I have that head, I can make it work. So all right, I will. Who's ever got the last question? Go for it. I'll do one more, and then I'm gonna head off here. It's been awesome chatting with you guys. I'm glad the live stream worked out. I wasn't sure how it would work off of my phone, but looks pretty good, and only a couple connection issues, which is not great, but I'm glad that everything worked out with that. If they could use the Odinson mold for Eddie Brock. Yeah, yeah, that would be cool. I think his head fits on that mold. I think I've tried that before, but yeah. Okay, guys. Well, I'll wrap it up here, and thanks so much for joining me. Thanks so much for seeing the film. Very soon, probably this week, I'm gonna get into film in some Maximum Carnage. I've pretty much got everything set up for it, so I'm excited to do that one, and I'm gonna try to get it. I'm gonna, obviously make it my own, but I think I'm gonna try to follow the story as closely as I can and try to bring that comic to life. So might use some music from the video game too. That might be cool. So make another Q&A soon. Yeah, I might film one as well. So uh, honestly, now I regret not doing one of these earlier, but you know, I'm glad. Better late than ever, right? So, all right, you guys have a good night or morning, depending on where you are in the world, and I will catch you next time. I'll definitely post an update for everything that I'm working on, and for another Q&A. So, yeah, guys, have a good weekend.